I don't know my place, but I'm gonna see it anyway, 'cause you know I had it. Flip the fly, had a little fun, and that's why it's darling blue. It's good on the sky. It's good on let me on, but no wrong. Darling, it don't matter. I'm telling you, don't let go. He's beautiful. So black and white, sitting right under. Baby blue ain't your color. Aloha. My heart is so with Hawaii. How about you guys? Ooh. My heart is with Maui. Even though I'm just like a dumb American tourist, you know. Hey, Benjamin. Good to see you. I do offer my deepest prayers, and, you know, I can't help but stop thinking about it. I don't think we should ever disregard a man or woman's testimony either. Is it? We need to continue to listen to people who are talking about what's going on there, right? I look at Lahaina and I see it as a destructive act of war. I don't think anything less of it is just foolish and ignorance. I don't see any way around that. But lots of people are unaware, and I guess that's good. I mean, I don't want people, you know, running around in a state of panic, but at the same time, it's like, damn, we are at war here. So, what else is new? I'm sort of prepared. If you didn't know, my name is Deanna, and I'm streaming out of Humboldt County, about Humboldt County to Humboldt County, usually. Things change here and there. And today is what I've been doing is streaming about the Constitution and trying to learn how to engage in politics the proper way. And just educate myself as a self-governing individual. And so if you didn't know, if you're not following along, if you have been following along, or you haven't been following along, you can go to standuphumboldt.news and go to the Constitution tab. And it's right at the top. And so I'll upload the pages that I'm going to be learning today. Sometimes I'm able to get this to the study, and sometimes I'm not. Today, I've got half of the answers. We'll see how it goes. So what we're talking about is the making of the historical development of the Constitution. That's what this book is that we're going through. And so today we've been in the Republic. We're learning about the fact that we are a republic. So let me see, where's the questions? So here's the questions. We've already done 1 through 7, which was one of my favorite studies ever. If you missed it, too bad for you. You should go back and watch it, because it explains the difference between a republic and a democracy. Very important. And then here, also, it explained when the colleges infiltrated with their intercollegiate socialist society. Yeah, in 1905, 100 people got together and literally infiltrated our media, schools, movies, entertainment, newspapers, magazines. It's when it began. It's amazing. So, but today we're on number 8. And it's, how did James Madison describe the achievement of the framers of the Constitution? And so I actually looked up a couple words for this, because he used words. Was it this one? Yeah. The words he used starts here, his quote. It's a pretty long quote, so I'm going to read the whole thing right here. It is not the glory of the people of America that whilst they have paid a decent regard to the opinions of former times and other nations, they have not suffered a blind veneration for antiquity. And that means they did not suffer blind respect for ancient principles, for ancient, did I write down past, for the ancient past, for custom or for names, to overrule the suggestions of their own good sense, the knowledge of their own situation, and the lessons of their own experience. To this manly spirit, posterity will be indebted for the possession, and for the world for the example. I lost, sorry. Whoops. Something happened. Something wrong happened. To this spirit, posterity will be indebted for the possession and the world for the example of the numerous innovations displayed on the American theater in favor of private rights and public happiness. Happily for America, happily we trust for the whole human race. They pursued a new and more noble course. They accomplished a revolution which has no parallel in the annals of human society. They reared the fabrics of governments which have no model on the face of the globe. They formed the design of a great confederacy, which is the incumbent on their successors to improve and perpetuate. That was Madison's quote in full. 9, describe the two kinds of republic the founders were familiar with. Did they adopt either pattern? And so here it tells us right here, the first was the unitary republic, which England was in the process of adopting under a limited monarchy. This is a system in which there is legislative or parliamentary supremacy over the government of the entire nation. The founders had already discovered that the legislative supremacy can be as tyrannical as a king. Therefore, they rejected this type of republic. The second type is known as the Confederation of Independent States. In other words, a confederated republic. Under this system, each state retains its independence and sovereignty supremacy, but confederates with other states for mutual defense or certain other advantages. This type of republic does not have legislative supremacy, but rather state supremacy. The founders had used this second approach in setting up the Articles of Confederation, and it almost caused them to lose the Revolutionary War. Therefore, they rejected this type of republic as well. What they were seeking was a third one that had not been invented yet. Come here, you're driving me crazy. Come here. Come here, you little dog. Ugh. Okay, so let me see what I have here. So that does answer the question. So no, they had a third one they were seeking. They rejected them both. 10. What particular elements of the British system did the founders reject? And I'm just going to read through these 1 through 11 here. And I got a little bit past this, but not much more. So in case you didn't know, I'm actually learning this study and putting the camera on while I learn it and take the time to learn it. And it was only like an hour at first, but since I'm sharing it with you, it does take a little extra. So sometimes I get it all the way through. I do intend to teach it once I get through it, but for now I'm learning it. So keep that bar really low, people, okay? Lower. All right, 1, they rejected the entire concept of a monarchy, even a limited monarchy. 2, they rejected the idea of a prime minister selected from the members of parliament. 3, they rejected the idea of a cabinet selected from among the members of parliament. 4, they rejected the idea of the members of parliament serving as the executive administrators of the government in a cabinet. 5, they rejected the idea of parliamentary supremacy in favor of constitutional supremacy. 6, they rejected the British idea of an unwritten constitution. 7, they rejected the idea of an upper house of lords occupied by a body of lifetime aristocrats. 8, they rejected the idea of a unitary republic with all power in the central government. 9, they rejected the idea of the national government having the power to nullify the laws of the local government. 10, they rejected the power of the executive to dissolve the legislature. 11, they rejected the British coinage system for a decimal system. And then I read a little bit more about Hamilton. Wow, you're not going to believe what he wanted. It says here, he recommended that the president be elected for life, the senators be appointed for life, and that, did I skip a page? Dang it. Shoot. I'm missing a page. Unbelievable. I'll bet I have it in there. Well, that happens too sometimes. I apologize, but we're just trying to keep it real around here, people. This is how I go and roll. I'm sorry. I'm missing a dang page. I cannot believe it. Okay. I might get to upload it real quick here. Let's see. 166. Of course it's 166. And that the central government have the authority to appoint governors of the states, just as the King of England had been doing. Hamilton sounds like a real pain in the ass to me. I'm just saying. I think he's trouble. He's been trouble. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can't get that page added on. Hey, All First Kingdom. Hi, Carolina. Good to see you guys. Thank you for being with me. Let's see if I can't get this page in here. What a Dunkoff. What a Dunkoff. Oh, yeah. I see I miss it. I don't recall uploading this graph. There's a lot of good visuals in this one here. Here it is right here. Okay. Okay. We're going to recover it. Starting to sweat a little bit, but I think I'm going to get through it. Hey, I'm Dee. Did you know that I like to fly by the seat of my pants? Because it keeps it really fun. All right. Where'd you go? Let me stick you back where you go. You are, what page are you after? You're after, oh yeah, Hamilton's plan. Okay, and what picture is that? Okay. Let's see. I think you're right there. Let's see if that's it. No. Huh. Oh. No. Okay. Okay. Maybe it was. 73, 71. Oh, yeah, I did it right. Okay. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. Refresh. Yeah. So, yeah, I just can't believe this guy. President for life, senators for life, and that. You didn't refresh. The central government have the authority to appoint governors of the states, just as the King of England had been doing. So some of the other things that people had concerns about, well, that's the next question, I think. Let me read the next question. That was part of the systems the British founders rejected. There's a lot more, and I did make sure to upload all these pages for you so you could read it, because I'm not going to be able to read all the pages and all the responses, but they definitely had their concerns. What elements of a confederation of states did the founders reject? Let's see, 171 to 174. Let's see, what did they reject? There's a lot of great visuals here, so let's look at here. It will be immediately seen that the founders did not consider the British system of legislature or parliamentary supremacy to be the best type of republic. It contained at least as much of ruler's law as people's law. Their view might be pictured as followed. And we have the graph of 100% tyranny on the left, 0% no law on the right is anarchy. And then they show this interesting triangular visual of two triangles, actually, one inside the other, and one is upside down. Power of the people. This is interesting. The founders, even as English colonists, claimed all of the rights guaranteed by the Magna Carta, the Petition of Rights, the Habeas Corpus Act, and the English Bill of Rights. However, they had learned through hard experience These rights are difficult to maintain when the structure of government, readily permits abuses. The founders saw this to be a serious weakness in the British system under parliamentary supremacy. And we have another graph here on the right. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Oops, I'm not. I wasn't. Sorry about that. Here's the graph on the left. The ruler's law is 100% tyranny on the left, no law, anarchy on the right. There's those two triangles. And then on the right side, you can see that the individual is still far under the state government, the county government, the township, and family. The second type of republic examined by the founders was the uniting of a group of independent sovereign states into a confederation. 1776, they envisioned this as preferable to the British system. And under this is even under the Articles of Confederation, their system still looked this way. So they start to recognize that there was failure in the confederations in Europe. And they later admitted that they should have known better from just observing the experiments in Holland and Germany. I'm not going to read more of Hamilton. And then the American experience, we have more here. There's some stuff here about Austria and Prussia, German emperors and things. I didn't read any of that, but they did acknowledge that the effort to establish the union of the states under the Articles of Confederation was a near disaster, because it was weak to help them unite to defend themselves and trade. Remember why the Articles failed. Let's see what Madison said. The existing confederation is founded on principles which are fallacious. Other confederacies which could be consulted as precedents have been vitiated by the same erroneous principles and can therefore furnish no other light than that of beacons, which give warning of the course to be shunned without pointing out that which ought to be pursued. The most that the convention could do in such a situation was to avoid the errors suggested by the past experience of other countries as well as of their own, and to provide a convenient mode of rectifying their own errors as future experience may unfold them. All right, let me see if I can answer the rest of these. Winging it here. 12, describe 4 steps the founders went through to develop a whole new system of government. And I do believe those answers are right here. They had to go through 4 steps. 1, clearly enunciate the fundamental principle that the power to govern rests in the people. This was done in the first 2 paragraphs of the Declaration of Independence. 2, although serving as delegates appointed by the state legislatures, they had to propose a government that would not become operative unless approved by the people. 3, to achieve this, they proposed to send the constitutional draft back to the Congress and, if it was approved by them, to have it submitted to the ratifying conventions elected by the people, not the legislatures in each of the states. 4, when ratified, the Constitution would become the voice of the people, not the confederated sovereign states, and would thereby make the voice of the people the supreme law of the land. The founders structured Constitution so that the doctrines of legislative supremacy as applied in England and state supremacy as applied in the Netherlands, Germany, and the American Articles of Confederation would be replaced by the doctrine of constitutional supremacy, a brand new invention. And then they go into more detail about how what they describe the 4-step process. So you can certainly read more of that for you until Wednesday when I upload the new study. I keep wanting to get ahead of it, but it hasn't happened yet. So maybe one of these days it will. One time I think I was a day ahead, a couple days ahead. 13, describe the vertical distribution of powers in the founder system. 176 through 78 gives us some visuals here. So Let's see. The state governments provided for a vertical separation of powers even before the Constitution was written, but a federal capstone was needed to hold the system at the balanced center of the political spectrum. And so we have here, again, we've got the ruler's law, 100% tyranny on the left, no law, 0% law, anarchy on the right, people's law right in the middle, several states on top, thousands of counties, tens of thousands of communities, tens of millions of families, hundreds of millions of individuals. A free government has often been compared, this is James Wilson, to a pyramid. This allusion is made with peculiar propriety in the system before you. It is laid on the broad basis of the people. Its powers gradually rise while they are confined, in proportion as they ascend, until they end in that most permanent of all forms. When you examine all its parts, they will invariably be found to preserve that essential mark of free governments, a chain of connection with the people. Such, sir, is the nature of this system of government. Assign each level of government that which it does best. Jefferson, the way to have a good and safe government is not to trust it all to one, but to divide it among the many, distributing to every one exactly the functions he is competent to. Let the national government be entrusted with the defense of the nation and its foreign and federal relations, the state governments with civil rights, laws, police, and administration of what concerns the state generally, the counties with the local concerns of the counties, and each ward direct with interests within itself. It is by dividing and subdividing these republics from the great national one down through all its subordinations until it ends in the administration of every man's farm by himself, by placing under every one what his own eye may superintend, that all will be done for the best. And it goes on, it is not by the consolidation or concentration of powers, but by their distribution that good government is effected. That's the point. That is the point. 14, last question. Briefly describe 5 levels of civic responsibility within each of the states. And here we go. The individual, we can see we've got the answers right here for us. Briefly. The founders perceived the people as individuals with the unalienable right to exercise their free agency in governing their own affairs so long as it did not impose on the rights of others. They felt the individual has both the right and the responsibility to solve most of the problems relating to work, play, associations, creature comforts, education, acquisition, and disposition of property, and the effort needed to make a person self-sustaining. As a member of society, the individual has a right to a voice and a vote. He or she has an inherent right to enjoy all of the general privileges and prerogatives enjoyed by the other members of society. The second is family, which the founders considered to be the most important unit of organized society. It is within the family circle that individuals tend to find greater satisfaction and self-realization than in any other segment of the community, state, or nation. The family is granted exclusive and sovereign rights which cannot be invaded by any other branch of government unless, and then we get into that. I want to see what the other 2 answers are, or the other 3 answers are. The community, there are a number of things which a community of families can do better than an individual family. This is the basis for a corporate community. It has the responsibility to provide roads, schools, water, police protection, city courts to handle misdemeanors, etc. It has the power to tax for the purpose of providing these specific services. Not gazillion county positions and jobs with bloated salaries and fat pensions for a few of you, extorting us. The county, there are a number of activities which a group of communities can handle collectively with more efficiency than individual communities. These include the prosecution of serious crimes, of minor crimes in the rural area, the providing of a secure long-term county jail for prisoners serving less than a year, providing county roads, bridges, and drainage system, providing rural schools, rural police services, levying and collecting taxes based on the assessed value of property, issuing licenses for fishing and hunting as well as marriages, keeping records of deeds, births, deaths, and marriages, conducting elections, caring for the needy, and protecting public health. I don't like any of that. It sounds like I shouldn't have to ask permission for any of that. But these are the other areas that we are to have our responsibilities. The state. This is the last one. The state can also pass laws to protect the health, safety, and morals of its people. I don't think so. I don't think you can legislate morality. Moral problems include such matters as liquor, gambling, drugs, and prostitution. Interesting that they would go that way with licenses and stuff, because I really didn't expect to see that in here. I don't need your permission. I don't want to have to ask you your permission for half of these things you're saying we need permission for. I'm not a commercial driver. I travel. Stuff drives me crazy. Private morality is a matter between a person and his conscience. Exactly. You can't legislate morality. You can't. That's why I have a libertarian perspective. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, leave me alone. I ain't bothering you. Guaranteed I ain't going to bother you. Timothy, the book of Timothy in the Bible says, greatest thing you can do is live a peaceable life. Mind your own business. That's what we've been trying to do. You made this our business. And this should have been my business. How many people are going to make it their business and stop ignoring our responsibilities and our duties that comes with that freedom that we have? I'm not. I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm showing up. And now I'm done. Oh. And I got to go anyway. So perfect timing, because someone's here. But keep Maui in your prayers. Keep America in your prayers. And thank you guys for being here and learning. And maybe I'll see you later on tonight. I still haven't got to have that good rant stream yet. But it's coming. I can feel it's coming. You know what I'm saying? All right, you guys. Thank you for learning and growing your mind with such important things. This is really important. I'm really thankful for every one of you that's here. Peace out.